Welcome to our Camperships webinar. Today, I will walk you through how to set up a campership using a registration option. I'll show you how to import that campership to your other events. We'll apply the campership to a participant and add a custom amount. I'll also show you the invoice for how that looks. And then we'll cancel a participant and review the updated invoice. I will show you how to download a report that has all of your campership data, and we'll go over some other common uses for registration options. We'll also talk at the end there about benefits of tracking camperships in Tentaroo. I'm going to move now into my admin interface for Scouts BSA Summer Camp, and we'll go into week 9, and we're going to work today in the classes section. Before I get into this, I am going to bring us over to our admin manual. That's admin.tentaroo.com. And we have a page in our admin manual to develop for setting up camperships. This has all of your step-by-step instructions for doing so. Again, that's admin.tentaroo.com. And I am going to bring this up with my interface side by side to compare. So the very first section that I want to talk about is here in our admin manual, and this is comparing a class and a registration option. Let me show you where to find that designation. So bring up new, and then here under kind of class is where you'll find class and registration option. And a class is an add-on selection like a merit badge or a training session. The fee here is additional and is always a positive amount. A registration option, on the other hand, modifies the participant rate and can be either a positive fee or a negative discount. So for what we're doing today, we're going to do a registration option. And now in my admin manual, I'm going to scroll down to all the different steps for setting up a campership. So we've done register under, we'll leave default to individual. You can set these up for the group, but that's a little bit different. Please schedule a training with me if you have questions about that. And then kind of class is registration option. And the next option is class type. Select your class type either from your available list, and this is searchable, so you can find what you need. In this case, this is my demo system, so I have a lot of camperships to choose from, but I am also going to show you how to add a new one, and that is using the white plus sign in the select class type modal. And here you give your campership a name, turn off merit badge, and that's really all you need. You can add an image, you can add a description. These are only going to be seen by your end users when they look back at their registration. I'm actually not going to add a class type at this time. I'm going to select one of my existing ones. We're going to make a Tentaroo Campership today. The next item after class type is scheduling. We have two scheduling options that we need to work with today, and that's time blocks and days. Under time blocks, you do have to select at least one time block, and this time block needs to be a spare, not something that you're using for any of your other classes. So adding a campership doesn't knock them out of what they've actually signed up for or prevent them from signing up for other things. If you don't have a spare time block, you can do that back here under time blocks. And when you're setting up a spare time block, you'll want to hide the time block number and hide the time so you're not confusing your end users. I'm going to use time block 11. And then the next thing is days. We're turning off all days in event, and we're not going to select any days. Doing it this way means that I could set up multiple camperships or discounts or fees in this time block, and none of them are going to conflict, so I can add multiple to an individual. The next item on our list after the scheduling is the amount. In the amount field, you're going to enter either a positive amount for a fee or a negative amount for a discount. In this case, I'm putting in a negative 200. That is the most common campership we offer, but it is not the only one. This can be overridden when it's applied. After the amount, we're going to select a GL account. You can add a separate GL account to every campership that you build. So if you're running multiple campership funds, you can track them this way. I'm going to search my list and I have a Tentaroo Campership here. If you need to add a GL account that's not on this list, a system admin can do so using the white plus icon, but that is not available unless you are a system admin. So let's go back to the Tentaroo Campership. And there's my GL account. And then the next thing on my list is allow self-registration. In this case, a discount is generally admin only, so we're going to disallow self-registration. If you're setting up a fee, you can make that allow self-registration on if you're letting the group self-select it. And the last item on my list is participant types. In this section, you're going to turn off any participant types that are not eligible for your campership. Since this is admin assigned, that's not as important as if you were allowing your end users to choose it. Click create and there's your campership. It is now available for you to go out and apply it to a participant. Now we want to import this to other events so we don't have to build it fresh for each event that we're working with. I'm going to go back and select week 8 from my summer camp so I can import it there. We're going under the classes section again, and next to my green new button is a button called import. Click on that and your event type will be already set up for the event you're working with, but you can change event types to anything else in your system. So you can take this campership and go to any other event and import it in so you don't have to rebuild it. Then you select source event and you can either use the magnifying glass to search, or something else that might be good if you're importing a bunch of different options is you can filter your list of classes to just your options, or even further to just individual options. So there's all my individual options set up under week 9 of summer camp. So I'm going to check the box next to my Campership Tentaroo, continue and complete, and that adds this campership to my week 8 schedule that I can add to participants now. All right, so the next thing we do is apply this to a participant. So using the select client modal, I am going to use the participant lookup. I want to change this to Scouts BSA Summer Camp, and the year is 2022. And you can either scroll through this list or you can search for a specific participant. I am going to choose, actually, I'm going to do this. The scout I'm looking for isn't registered yet. So I'm going to go into the registrations lookup, Scouts BSA Summer Camp, change my year to 2022. And I want someone in week 9. That's going to be Troop 177. And in this case, the scout I'm looking for isn't there yet. Actually, no, I didn't see Lori before. Lori's the one that I want. If I had grabbed her from the participant lookup, I would have gone straight into her registration. All right, manage and edit. And now this is the names wizard. I'm going to click next until I get to the classes step. And I can scroll through this list, or it is also searchable. Let's look for a campership. Okay, I'm going to apply the Campership Tentaroo to the schedule. And scrolling down to the bottom of the schedule, here it is. I have an admin manage button. I'm going to use that now and change the amount. So Lori gets $250 in campership money. I'm going to save that, click next, complete the wizard, and check out. That's going to finalize these changes. Even though I'm not making a payment right now, I am going to still make a note. Notes are always good, and that way you and everyone else knows what's going on in each order. And now let's take a look at the invoice for this registration. On this invoice, we can see that we have one youth base camp spot, $400 less $250, and there's a double asterisk here. We're going to follow that double asterisk down here to registration options are included in displayed participant registration fees, and each of these camperships has a negative amount assigned. So the 250 reduction is applied to Lori. So you have one spot reduced by that campership amount. There's a second spot reduced by the campership amount assigned to Maria, and the remaining 15 spots are at the regular rate of $400. All of this is adjusting the participant rate. The payment history only has the actual payments that were made. I'm going to go back to the registration now, and I'm going to cancel a participant. Lori decided that she's not coming to summer camp after all. Click on Lori's name, click Manage and Cancel, and that will remove Lori from the registration and add the reduction to the cart. Now I'm going to check out to finalize that change. Make a quick note here for myself. And once that order is finalized, I can go back into the registration. And now I'm going to look at the revised invoice. On this revised invoice, we can now see that I have only one spot reduced by Campership. Maria remains with her campership, but Lori is no longer here, nor is her campership reducing this registration fee. So we went from 15 full price spots to 16 full price spots. I haven't reduced any spots here because I'm assuming that another scout might come and take their place. And unless they have earned a campership, they're back at the full rate, and that $250 is returned to your campership fund for another applicant. And now that we have looked at what the group registration looks like, let's use my shortcut of Go to Event to get back into the admin interface. And I'm going to show you how you can download a report that shows you all of your registration options, all of your camperships in one place. This report is available by each event under the Event Reports section. And I'm actually going to back up one level because this is also available at the event type level for all events in the selected year. So I want to look at all of my 2022 applications of campership funds, and the report I need is the participant class schedules event options export. To generate that report, let's open that up. And I am going to make this a little bit bigger so you can see it. And let's expand some columns. Here in the first couple of columns, you have the named participants that have received camperships. We can scroll to the right here, and we have a column with the event name. So you can see which events have camperships applied. And then the option column tells you which options have been applied. You can have multiple ones of this. As you can see, we have different camperships in this summer camp session. And then you have a column with the amounts that are applied. So you can apply filters to this and sort it by campership type or by other discounts and fees. And then you can get your totals this way of how much money has been applied from your campership funds. And then you also have GL account information for that record. I'm going to close this report now and go back to my interface. And now we're going to switch gears a little bit, and I'm going to talk about some of the other options you can do. For discounts, you can do, of course, camperships. You can set up sibling discounts, crossover scout discounts, partial week adults to prorate their rates, staff child discount, multiple week discount, and lifeguard certification discount. The multiple week discount, I have a note here that if you're doing a just names event, so that's usually not summer camp, but if you have just names going on, you can automate that in the system. Feel free to reach out if you have questions on that. And then we are also working on a page for the admin manual that will come out in the coming weeks from this recording. That will be about other ways besides individual registration options that you can use to set up discounts in Tentaroo. So be on the lookout for that. Or if you're watching this after our recording today, you can peruse the admin manual for that page. Registration options can also be used for fees. These can be early arrival fees, late pickup or late exit fees. You can do equipment rental this way if you want to get your group to reserve tents through this. You can also use this to adjust for provisional scouts or to sell meal options. And this can either be a positive or a negative for meal options, depending on how you want to do it. And then a note on provisional scout. We do have a pricing tier for provisional scout, but if this scout is signed up in a way that doesn't take advantage of that, you might want to do a registration option to take care of that. Schedule training if you have questions on pricing tiers and setting up provisional scout rates. Talking a moment about the benefits of tracking camperships in Tentaroo. The biggest thing really is that these are tracked by the individual. You assign it to a specific person. You can also enter a custom amount for each recipient. You can track your camperships by GL account, and you can have multiple accounts for different camperships. Your invoices are very clean and neat and easy to interpret. We also have reporting options. I showed you today the participant class schedules event options report. Because we use this with our GL system, these are also included in your main accounting reports for reconciling accounts. Registration options can be used for many different kinds of discounts or fees, depending on your needs. As always, we are here for you if you need to schedule training or ask questions. We are here to help you with this. All right, thank you for attending our Camperships webinar. Please reach out at support@tentaroo.com or by scheduling training if you would like guidance in setting up or managing your Camperships discounts or fees using registration options.